Hello all, I welcome you all to this session of Basic Thermodynamics. In today's class, we will solve few problems on entropy. So let us read the question once. Two copper blocks weighing 10 kg each, that means there are two copper blocks, each of them are weighing 10 kg, are initially at temperature 227 degrees Celsius and 27 degree Celsius. Now if you try to represent it with a block diagram or a figure, there are two copper blocks. Let us name it as A and B just for our convenience. This is also having mass of 10 kg and mass of B is also 10 kg. Okay. Now the block A is at 227 degree Celsius, that is temperature of block A is given. We need to keep it in Kelvin. Remember 227 plus 273, that will be 500 Kelvin, and the block B temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. So temperature of block B is given 27 plus 273, that is 300 Kelvin. Okay, know that they are at different temperatures. Both of them are having the same mass, but this is at 500 Kelvin. On the other hand, you have the B, that is 300 Kelvin. What is the change in entropy when these two blocks are brought into contact with each other? Now know that if these two blocks are brought into contact, what will happen? There is a difference in temperature. Obviously there will be a heat transfer from higher temperature body to the lower temperature body. That is law of nature. The heat transfer happens whenever there is a difference in temperature. Here the A is at 500 Kelvin and B is at 300 Kelvin. If these two are brought in contact with each other, what will happen? Heat transfer will happen from higher temperature body to the lower temperature body. So if that is happening, there is a change in entropy, because after all change in entropy is given by delta Q by T. So whenever there is a heat transfer, there is a change in entropy. Now what he is interested in, when these two blocks are brought in contact, what is the change in entropy? Now we know that change in entropy is given by, now we have derived few equations, that is if it is a constant pressure process, constant volume process. So now in most of the cases, if this is given, what we will assume is that the constant pressure process, that is MCP ln of T final by T initial. This is we have derived, of course this is derived from the same equation delta Q by T, and this formula is for constant pressure process. So whenever this type of problem is given, we assume that it is a constant pressure process, because of the same reason whenever you bring this into contact, you are not restricting the volume. So this can change according to the change in pressure. However, in solids you may not observe a very big change in its volume. However, it is quite similar to a constant pressure process. So we will use this equation. Now the question is, T initial is known to us. Whenever you bring these blocks which are at different temperature into contact, what will be the final temperature? What will be the final temperature of block A or final temperature of block B? The heat transfer occurs between these two bodies until there is an equilibrium temperature is achieved. So somewhere down the line it will stop transferring the heat. Assume that this is isolated from the surroundings. So if this is at 500 Kelvin and this is at 300 Kelvin, there may be some temperature in between, the heat transfer will stop, because this will drop the heat, that is maybe the temperature of this will be coming down, and on the other hand you have the body B whose temperature will start rising up because of the heat transfer. Now this heat transfer will stop at some intermediate temperature. Now that is what we are interested in, then the heat transfer stops. So you can assume that TF is nothing but that final temperature which we are looking for. So final temperature for body A will also be same, final temperature for body B will also be same, because at that point heat transfer stops. So we are interested in T final. If you have the T final, then we can use this equation to find out change in entropy of body A and change in entropy of body B. Now you can also imagine that since body A will be losing the heat, see delta Q will be negative here. So you can predict that this will be, that is entropy of body A will be negative, change in entropy of body A will be negative, because after all this is derived from delta Q by T. If delta Q itself is negative for this body, then change in entropy for this body will be negative. On the other hand, this will be receiving the heat. So delta Q will be positive for this body. So for body B, change in entropy should be positive. So we will see. Now we are interested in T initial, we have already, mass we have, specific heat of both are copper block. So Cp also is given. Now if you have T final temperature, we can predict the change in entropy of body A and change in entropy of body B. So in order to do that, we need to use heat balance, that is heat lost by body A must be equal to heat gained by body B. A simple energy balance which we are doing, if it is isolated from the surroundings, this has to be satisfied. So heat lost by body A, constant pressure we have set, mCp dt of body A, similarly mCp dt of body B. Okay, so this is what we can write. Now mass of body A and mass of body B are same. Now this is what we are interested in, mass of body B, Cp of body B, then this is dt we are interested in. Now what do you mean by dt here? Be careful, don't make a mistake here. This has to be, if you are equating, don't go for the negative sign or positive sign. If you are equating both the side, it has to be positive. So we should make sure that while using this equation, make sure that if you are equating, both the sides should be positive. So here T initial will be greater minus T final, that is TF we are denoting. This will be positive because for body A, T initial will be higher than T final. So this would give us a positive answer. Similarly, here also make sure that you are keeping this in positive. How to keep this in positive? T final will be greater because it is relatively at lower temperature. After heat addition to this, the temperature will rise. So T final will be greater than T initial. So this is of body B, this is of body A. Be careful. T final will be same for body A and B, you need not to worry. So mass A is same, both are 10 kg, cancel it out. Cp, both are copper blocks, cancel it out. What will remain with is T initial of body A, that is 500 minus TF. So TF of body A and B will be same, don't worry about that, represent it as TF itself. Then here also TF minus T initial of body B is 300. Now find out TF, that is, if you bring it back here, that will be 2TF is equal to 800 or TF is equal to 400 Kelvin. Now see that TF will be in between these two temperatures. Okay, TF has to be found out by balancing the energy. So don't find it out by arithmetic mean or geometric mean, not like 500 plus 300 by 2. No, that is not the way you should find out the intermediate temperature. You will not get that answer as well. So that will be wrong. So make sure that use energy balance to find out TF, that is final temperature. Now that means to say this also will reach 400 Kelvin and this also will reach 400 Kelvin. That is the point where there is no heat transfer between body A and body B. Now once you get this, go back to the initial equation. Delta S of body A will be given by mass of body A, Cp of body A, ln of T final by T initial of body A. T final is same, no need to represent as A. Now mass of A is 10, Cp 0.4, ln of T final is 400 divided by initial is 500. Now the answer what you get is minus 0.89. Now look for the unit. Mass is in kg, Cp is in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now what you will get? Kg get cancelled. Here the temperature unit will get cancelled automatically. You need not to worry about this. Now it is kilojoule per Kelvin. So similarly, you can calculate for entropy of body B. But remember what we had said. The change in entropy of body A will be negative because it is losing the energy, or delta Q will be negative for body A. So this has to be negative, so keep that in mind. Now go for change in entropy of body B. Same equation, mass of B, Cp of B, ln of T final by T initial of body B. That will be equal to mass of B is also 10 kg, Cp of B is also 0.4 because both are made up of copper. Then ln of T final is 400, T initial of B is 300. Now unit, same unit kg, then kilojoule per kg Kelvin you are substituting, you will get kilojoule per Kelvin. This we are getting 1.1507 kilojoule per Kelvin. So change in entropy of body B has to be positive because delta Q is positive for body B. Now similarly you go for change in entropy of a universe, that is for body A and body B you have calculated. For both the system, if you calculate delta S A plus delta S B, what we get is plus 1.1507. Delta S total is 0.2607. So unit once again kilojoule per Kelvin. Now what we need to understand here is that in order to find out the T final temperature, we need to use energy balance. Then we have to use change in entropy for a constant pressure process in order to find out change in entropy of body A as well as body B. Then change in entropy of universe or change in entropy of total can be given by change in entropy of body A plus change in entropy of body B. We will move on to one more problem on entropy. A lump of steel of mass 8 kg at 1000 Kelvin is dropped in 80 kg of oil at 300 Kelvin. So this is a typical problem where the process of quenching is done. That is a mass of steel is being heated, then it will be dipped into an oil, which is a process of quenching just to improve its material properties. However, what we are interested in is the changes in entropy. Okay, we are not worrying about the properties, but we are worrying about the changes in entropy of the mass of steel and the oil. So if you want to represent it with a block diagram, there is 80 kg of oil is there. Now this is at 300 Kelvin. Okay. On the other hand, there is 8 kg of steel ball. 8 kg of steel ball is there, which is at 1000 Kelvin. So the temperature of this is given, which is at 1000 Kelvin. Now we need to denote it with a proper notation, that is, let us consider the steel ball as m suffix s, that is 8 kg, temperature of steel as T suffix s, which is at 1000 Kelvin. Of course, this is the initial temperature of the steel. Then mass of oil as, let us denote it by m suffix o, which is 80 kg. Then temperature of the oil initially is 300 Kelvin. Now know that this is being dropped into a 300 Kelvin temperature oil. Obviously the heat transfer will happen from the steel ball to the oil. Now just we can predict the change of entropy for this steel ball will be negative, because the heat transfer will be negative, that is, heat is rejected, delta Q will be negative for this. Whereas on the other hand, for oil the change in entropy will be positive, because heat is being transferred into the oil. So delta Q will be positive for the oil. So change in entropy for oil will be, you will get positive answer. However, let us see, make calculation for entropy change of steel, the oil and universe. Universe is the summation of change in entropy of the steel ball plus change in entropy of oil. Take specific heat of steel and oil, he has given. So Cp of steel is given, let us denote it as Cp S, 0.5 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Similarly, Cp of oil is also given, 3.5 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now we know that we go for change in entropy of steel ball, and then we'll go for change in entropy of oil, then we'll go for change in entropy of universe, change in entropy of steel plus change in entropy of oil. Now this has to be assumed by any of the ideal process which we know. Whenever this type of problem is given, we generally go for a constant pressure process, because we are not restricting the volume to be expanded. So as soon as the temperature is changed, what will happen? It is allowed to change according to constant pressure. So a constant atmospheric pressure is acting. So as soon as the change in pressure happens here, it will expand. So it is quite similar to constant pressure process. So change in entropy of the steel can be written as mass of steel, Cp of steel, ln of T final by T initial of steel. Okay. Now we also already know that T final of the steel ball as well as oil will be same, because once this is dipped here, the temperature of this will drop and this temperature of this will rise until an equilibrium temperature is achieved. So T final you need not to specify as TFS. So TF for this is also same and this is also same. So here you can write mass of oil, Cp of oil, ln of, here also T final by T initial of oil. So we know all the data except the final temperature. So how can we find out final temperature? It is just by balancing the energy, that is heat lost by steel ball will be equal to heat gained by oil. Now this you have to be careful, try to keep both the side positive. That is, heat lost is mCp dt for constant pressure. So m mass of steel, Cp of steel, steel ball. So final minus initial, generally we go for, whenever you want to calculate heat transfer. So try to keep it positive, means I want to keep this term positive, that is highest minus lowest. That is, in this case, initial of steel ball is greater than T final. So that is 1000 Kelvin. Once you go for dipping here, the temperature will drop. So this has to be T initial minus T final, just to keep the term positive. So both the side has to be positive. If at all you are equating, remember, it cannot be like one side it is positive and the other side is negative, you will get the wrong answer. So I am trying to keep this positive. Similarly, on the other side also we will try to keep positive. Mass of oil, Cp of oil, then final temperature will be higher for this. Initially it is at lower temperature. After interacting with this, this will rise its temperature, minus T initial of oil. So now substitute this. Mass of steel is 8 kg, Cp of steel is 0.5 kg, kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Remember, the unit also has to be balanced. So if you are substituting mass in kg here, on the other side also it has to be in kg. Similarly, Cp, if you are substituting it in kilojoule per kg Kelvin this side, on the other side also it has to be same. T initial of steel is 1000 minus T final, we will see. Mass of oil is 80 kg, Cp of oil 3.5, T final we want to find out, minus T initial of oil, which is 300 Kelvin. Now find out T final, you will get 309.859 Kelvin. So what we know is that T final will have to be, or T final should be within this limit, that is 1000 Kelvin and 300 Kelvin. You cannot predict that it has to be 700 or 800. It depends on what mass of oil is there, what mass of steel ball is there. So that means you have to calculate by using this energy balance. Look at now, the temperature of the oil is only raised 9 degrees Celsius or 9 Kelvin. So you cannot say that, since this is 1000 and 300, it has to be in between 1000 and 300. No, that is the wrong. It depends on the mass, the Cp and the temperature as well. So this, but we know that this has to be between 1000 and 300. We are getting the final temperature is 309.859. That is the temperature of this and this. After it comes to equilibrium, the temperature will be 309.859 Kelvin. Now we are ready to go for calculating change in entropy of steel and change in entropy of oil. Now mass of steel is known to us 8, Cp of steel 0.5, ln of T final we have found out 309.859 by T initial of steel is 1000. So we know that this we will get negative minus 4.68655 kilojoule per Kelvin. Now similarly you can calculate change in entropy of oil. Mass of oil is 80, Cp of oil is 3.5, ln of T final is 309.859, initial temperature of the oil is 300. We are getting change in entropy of the oil as 9.053 kilojoule per Kelvin. Now go for finding out change in entropy of the universe, that is summation of change in entropy of the steel, that is minus 4.68655 plus change in entropy of the oil 9.053, and we get 4.366 kilojoule per Kelvin. We will move on to the next problem. A piston cylinder arrangement contains 0.03 meter cube of nitrogen at 1 bar. So he is trying to tell you there is a piston and cylinder arrangement. Okay, so this is piston and this cylinder, and there is nitrogen in it which is at 1 bar initially, and initial volume is also given, that is 0.03 meter cube. So let us represent that P1 is 1 bar, that is 1 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square, and volume initially is also given 0.03 meter cube. Okay, and temperature also is given. T1 is 290 Kelvin. The piston moves inwards and gas is compressed. So the piston is moving inward, the gas is compressed. So if this is at state 1, this is state 2. So he is saying that piston is moving inward so that it is compressing, and the process of compression also he has given, it is isothermal and reversible. So you can plot PV diagram until the pressure becomes 4 bar. So P2 is given, which is 4 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Now determine change in entropy and work done. Assume nitrogen to be perfect gas. So what he is saying that, since he is saying perfect gas, it means to say you can use the equation PV is equal to mRT. Now determine the change in entropy and work transfer, right? So change in entropy for an isothermal process we should know, that is m r ln of V2 by V1. So this is known to us, this we have derived for each ideal process. So change in entropy can be given by m r ln of V2 by V1. On the other hand, you have P1, P2, V1 and T1. Now you do not have the value of mass, okay, so that we will see. Then work transfer in a isothermal process is given by P1 V1 ln of V2 by V1. So the problem here is, if you have the value of mass, you can get the change in entropy. If you have the value of V2, here also V2, you can get the value of work transfer. Now how to find out the value of mass? Since he is saying nitrogen is a perfect gas, use the equation PV is equal to mRT. Now be careful here, pressure is given, so you are substituting it in Newton per meter square. So be careful with the unit. Then V1 0.03, then mass is what you are interested in calculating. So this you are substituted it in meter cube. Mass, let us say you are giving it in kg. Then R, the value of R is saying that it is a perfect gas. So we will have to assume for a perfect gas, that is air, the value of R is 287 joule per kg Kelvin, and temperature is 290 Kelvin. So look for the balance of the equation. So here it is meter square get cancel. On left hand side you have joules. On the other side kg get cancel. Kelvin get cancelled. You will have joules. So mass you can calculate if you have balanced the equation properly. Mass you are getting 0.036 kg. Okay. Now mass is known to us 0.036, R value 287, ln of V2 by V1. So V1 is known to us, that is 0.03. We do not know the value of V2. How do we calculate V2? P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, because temperature is constant. For temperature is constant means PV is equal to mRT, temperature constant or PV is equal to constant. Now calculate V2. So P1 is known to us 1 into 10 power 5, V1 is 0.03, P2 is 4 into 10 power 5. Now calculate V2. V2 is 7.5 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. Now substitute this back here, 7.5 into 10 power minus 3. Now you are getting change in entropy of nitrogen as minus 14.34 joule per Kelvin. Joule per Kelvin. You check for the unit if you want. M you are substituting it in kg, R you are substituting it in joule per kg Kelvin. So you are getting the unit of change in entropy as joule per Kelvin. Similarly, you go for work transfer in the process. You know that it has to be negative because it is a compression process. So P1 is known to you, 1 into 10 power 5. V1 is also known to you, 0.03. Ln of V2 you have found out, 7.5 into 10 power minus 3 divided by V1 is 0.03. Now work transfer you are getting it as minus 4.158 into 10 power 3 joules or minus 4.158 kilojoules.